In this video, I'm going to show a way to skip most of the egg challenge for Agent 9 section of Haunted Tomb. This will save a lot of time over the casual approach, though it's not the fastest way to do this. It is, however, a lot easier than the fastest approach. Now, the fastest approach would happen in this room, but instead, we're going to walk up to this NPC and answer his riddle. He answers the fourth option, footsteps. Then we're going to go into this first room with enemies, and just like you would casually, we'll clear it out.
You may proceed to the first try.
Strictly speaking, you don't need to kill every one of these enemies to do this trick, but it's a lot easier and safer. I recommend doing so at the beginning. Next, we're going to find this skull on the ground. It's in the left side of the room, around the middle, and we're going to use this as a reference point. We're going to go just below and to the right of this and face upward. The exact position is not too precise, but this is roughly what you want it to look like. Now, I'm an analog player when it comes to Spyro 3, but for this, I'm going to use the D-pad. I recommend you do so as well. We're going to hold, at the same time, L1, up and left, and then mash R1 quickly. So what this is going to do is it's going to move us into this corner, and as we get close to the wall, but before we hit it, we're going to let go of R1. We're going to stop mashing. This is going to shoot us up over the wall if we do it right. So let's see what that looks like. As you can see, we got a good bit of height. We're up on the wall, and now we can run along the wall to the egg. But I'm going to drop down and do it again. Let's take another look at that. We'll line up, hold the 3 buttons, and then mash. Now it's worth noting that there are a few caveats to this. If you keep mashing R1 for too long, the wall's going to rob your momentum. Likewise, if you stop hitting R1 too soon or don't go fast enough, you won't get the height that you need. Here you can see we mashed R1 too long, and our momentum is robbed by the wall. Here, we aren't going to hold it long enough, and we won't get the height that we need. So this takes a bit of practice. You have to learn how quickly to hit R1, how many times you need to hit it, and when to stop. I generally go for around 9, but you can do it with fewer or more, depending on the speed with which you hit the button. If you do go too fast, you can shoot off too far, and even crash the game. I'll include a link to that in the description. Alright, let's get up on the wall one more time. Set up. Hold our buttons, and then we'll mash. You can see we didn't get enough height there. Hit the wall at a bit of a strange angle. But this time we got up and over. So now what you'll do is you'll run along the wall here to the end. And you can see all of the rooms that we're avoiding by doing this. Which means that even if you don't get it first try, you're still going to save a good amount of time over the casual approach. And this works in both 117, the full completion category, and 149 egg. Now I'm going to set up a save state here before dropping down to get the egg, because you have to be very careful here. You can see the eggs down there. And so what we're just going to do is drop down and collect that. Now you can menu out instead of going through the portal and move on. But if you're not paying attention and you go too far, you keep running along the wall, when you get to this point, you'll hit the portal out. And this is really bad. Even if you go back in, you'll see that the force field is up and there's no NPC anymore, which means that we can't actually get up by using this approach anymore. And this means that you'd have to exit the level. So be very careful when you get to the end not to do that. You can lose a good bit of time by doing so. Okay, now I'm going to show what my right hand looks like when I'm doing that mashing of R1, just to give you a sense. Alright, thanks for watching everyone.